You can sit here, have a conversation, do your training, and have a cup of tea or coffee or drink water, for example. And whilst you're doing that, you can talk about your organization and what is so special about your organization. Could you just give me a thumbs up, a like, to let me know that what I'm saying is making sense to you, for example? Because I'd like to know, because I can't see you on here on YouTube, but I would love to know that what I'm saying to you, because I can see there's some people on here that it's making sense to you. So if you could just give me a thumbs up, a like, that would be great. And what I really want to share with you is some of the tactics that you can use, which is ethical. Because it's care, you've got to be mindful and not mention anyone's name, for example, but just talk about what it is that you offer. Imagine your carers that work for you, maybe your manager or maybe your carer would be happy to come and talk. You could actually interview them and say, so for example, say the carer's name is Sarah. You could say, so Sarah, tell me, what's it like working for our organization? And you have a list of questions. And let me tell you something, I have done this for numerous care homes in the past. For example, when I first started my coaching business, I literally went and visited them and asked them a list of questions for their channel, for their website, for example. But this could have really have gone onto a YouTube channel for them. So you can be asking your team members, what's it like working for us, for example? How many days do you do a week? Are you happy? Obviously you have to make sure the person is happy working with you, for example, and that they're willing to talk the day in life of a carer working in your agency, for example, doing home care. You could even film them, go out with them for the day. They go in the car, you're filming them and you're talking to them, and obviously you're not anywhere near the client's house, but you're a bit away, and then you just have a conversation in the car. And then the carer goes out, does the care, for example. Obviously you've stopped recording by that time. Carer goes out and does the care. They come back in, they get in the car, you film again the carer's face. And then they're driving, for example. And you say, how many calls do you normally do in a day, for example? When do you take your breaks? Because this can also attract candidates to come and work for your organization as well, you see. So also at the same time, the client or the client's relatives or the healthcare professionals that will refer the private clients to you are also watching. So this is how you get to the private clients as well. Now, when I had my agency many years ago, right, before even YouTube came out, for example, I would do a blog, for example. And it was through, Google, it was a blog that I would do. And I used to get people contacting me through my blog privately because they saw my blog on the internet. So there's lots of ways that you can do marketing for your business, but YouTube is definitely something that you must start doing now if you haven't done it already, because it will really boost your appointments, should I say, and people will get to know you. And I think in today's world, people do need to get to know you before they just It's not like they just go on a website and they see you and they're like, okay, let me ring them. They want a bit more. They want a bit more. They want to know a bit more of the soul of the company. And what's the manager like? What is the care provider like? What's the owner like? What are the staff like? What is your company's mission and vision statement, for example? What are your aims and objectives, for example? What areas do you cover? What location do you cover? What do your prices range from? Look, everyone's going to know what your prices are, so just, but you can also say that our prices are negotiable if you want to. Some people don't say what their price is, or they'll say what their price is, but it's non-negotiable, for example. So it really is up to you as the care provider to look at these strategies. So another one is where you can get private paid clients is assisted living. Go to visit assisted living accommodation places and meet the manager in your location. Look, we're all meant to be collaborating with one another. We're all meant to be meeting one another. But if you don't get out of your office, you will never meet people. In the old days, we used to get out and meet people, didn't we? We would talk and laugh and joke, but these days it's telephone, or it's email, or it's Zoom. Let's try and get back to basics if we can. I know it can be difficult as well. So like I said, YouTube, you can do an info commercial, and guess what else you can do through YouTube? You could do a podcast. A podcast once a month would be absolutely brilliant for a care business. This is part of our new strategy for 2025 for our new clients as well. So you can also approach care agencies, yes, other care agencies that have got contracts, that you know that they've got contracts, you know that they have. You can even look on Contract Finder if you're in the UK. It depends where you're based, for example. If you're in America, you know who's got contracts. Go and meet your agencies. Meet them. Don't see them as competitors. You're there to collaborate and work with one another. They're your neighbours. It's like years ago what you used to do if you ran out of milk because shops wasn't open 24/7. You would knock on your neighbour's door and ask them for a cup of milk, and you would give it back to them the next day when you got the milk, for example. You give them the bottle of milk, for example. We need to start doing that, getting back to basics, because we're tending to just stay in our little office and we're not meeting the world. And the world can give you so much. That's why you've got YouTube. You can meet the world. You can be in different locations. You don't have to be in one location. You can cover other areas, providing that you're registered to do so if you are home care registered, for example. However, you can also do recruitment care agency as well, and provide them with permanent staff members, because that is going to help them as well. So the next thing I also want to say to you, the fifth one, is create a presentation pack. Nothing worse than going out to visit a care home, for example, or a hospital, for example, private hospital I'm referring to here, and you've got nothing in your hand apart from a business card and a leaflet. You've got to have more than that. You've got to have a presentation pack. And the presentation pack, what consists of a presentation pack is, and this is something which I've always introduced to my clients, for example, because I know it works. Vistaprint or printing companies will print off the presentation folder. You then put the information from your website into your presentation pack. So you've got the things that go into your presentation pack, which is what I created, is my mark, is the homepage, about us, the services that you offer, your on-call, who's on call at the time, and also how they can contact you, and your client guide. And you also can put your prices in there as well, and your terms of business. That's what would go into a presentation pack. And then when you're there with the client, you're then talking about what it is that you offer. Or you could even discuss it on your YouTube channel or even in your podcast. Create a YouTube channel. If you haven't got one already, you should have one. That is definitely for 2025, you should have a YouTube channel. You could even have ads on your YouTube channel, make some additional money as well. But you should have a YouTube channel. Then the second thing is create a podcast show for your organization, for example. Then you've got your info commercial, because you've got to have a commercial that's your main video that they see as soon as they come onto your website and your YouTube channel, as well as your social media channel as well. Not these little shorts. They're just short. They're just there for short memory. They're not long-term memory, because the shorts will fade, for example. That's why they're called shorts. It's there for quick, and that's it. So the 5 strategies are: you can visit assisted living accommodation to look at working in collaboration. Introduce yourself to your community as well, for example. Let them know that you're here. Because do you know who your community is? Do you know what is in your community? I'd love to hear your answers here.